Hey, what's up everybody? It's Demo from NextEv, and welcome to Tiny Tina's Chaos Runs number 15. As per the ramblings of the last video, you now know why I've not been picking up the legendaries and whatnot from these runs. And if you're new here, welcome. We just kinda play Chaos runs in Tiny Tina. We're trying to get the Chaos level of 35, and it's just a chill time where we just sit here and we ramble and we mindlessly kill things in the Borderlands. And it is the 15th time we're mindlessly killing things in the Borderlands. So I figured tonight, I started this about maybe 40-ish minutes ago, recording this session. We could knock out a few rounds of some Chaos Chamber tonight. I at least want to try to get the 20 before the end of the night. And so I could sit down, render out all these videos, and then have them all pre-uploaded tomorrow and schedule it out to go for the rest of this month. Because I believe I said this in one video a few rounds ago, I believe, probably like 11 or so, maybe. I do got all the way to the 20th of videos recorded and ready to go, between doing Scott Pilgrim versus the World and doing the last few playthroughs on that, and doing Chaos runs on here. That's kind of been this month so far, and also depending, we might mix it up, throw a few other random games in there. Debating on getting a game called KO. It's a boxing kangaroo platformer game, and it just looks like it would just be a fun time to just sit down for a few hours, make some videos on it. I got Assassin's Creed Origins that I want to do because the new 60 FPS update came out, and that would be I never beat the DLC of that game. I've beaten that game before, but never played the DLC. And I figured, you know, jumping back in, grinding out, having some fun, and seeing as it's an exponentially smaller game. If I said the word right, I doubt I did. I don't think I did. My brain's questioning itself. It's definitely a smaller game than Odyssey and Valhalla, which Valhalla I still need to go back to. And if I do go back to Valhalla, we'll see. We will definitely see. For various reasons. I may or may not have beat the game. Spoilers, I guess. I don't know. Because I was like, man, I want to play it before that new story expansion thing came out. I still haven't bought that story expansion thing. But I haven't played Origins in a while. And I played Origins after I played Odyssey and right before Valhalla came out. Oh my god, I fell in love with Origins. I love it. It was a little grindy, but I'm also a person that doesn't mind the grind. I don't mind doing the grind at all. Haha. Alright, who's left? What do we got? And if the grind on Origins means, I don't know, 50 extra episodes, depending on how much fun I have, I'm willing to do the 50 extra episodes. Cyberpunk? Yeah, we're not doing Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk, I finished it off camera, and I had to force myself to finish it. I'm not sitting here like, oh yeah, I had so much fun, I couldn't help it, and I beat it off camera. I stopped playing it, waited for patch after patch after patch after patch. I went back and I was just like, oh my god, the story is in slog. I would like to go back and finish it specifically for YouTube. I just don't know if I can play it. Like, as soon as I beat it, I'm like, uninstall. Like, I had fun at first. I was excited. But that was like, oh god, the only game I actually got hyped up for in many years. And this is why I don't get hyped up. This is why I normally think nothing's as bad or whatever. I think everything's fine that comes out. Normally when people go too hard on things, I'm kind of like, is it that bad though? Cyberpunk was a mess. Cyberpunk is one of the very few exceptions for a time when I'm like disappointed in something. And I'm not disappointed often. In Cyberpunk, I'm like, oh god. Because like, I played The Witcher 3 and that was awesome. The Witcher 3 was so great. And I'm like, wow, if it's anything like The Witcher 3, this is going to be amazing. Yeah, I mean, you just got to Google Cyberpunk 2077 and it fills itself out on the rest of that. Or if you've been alive in the past recent few years, then, you know. Yeah, I see the blue over there. We're not doing that. We already did that shit in episode 11. Ugh. Anyway, we're halfway through the Chaos Chamber already. Oh, jeez. Oh. You know, funny thing is, I've been wanting to sleep like crazy recently. Even though I went to bed at a decent time last night. Like, I'm talking like, I don't even think it was 1 a.m. that I went to bed last night. God, the mix between fucking fire and ice down there right now. Destroying me. Does that say Tooth Fairy? Why is the Tooth Fairy like a goblin thing? Well, it's dead now, so we can't get a good look. Oh well, what can you do? Yeah, Bidoof. My favorite Pokemon, Bidoof. Speaking of new Pokemon, and speaking of Bidoof, that a new Pokemon. What was it? Ah, God, Scarlet Velvet some or other came out with like information the other day. It didn't look too bad. I was like, this looks better than Legends. And I gotta go and like really sit down and play Legends. I played it for a few hours on a stream. I got started. And I never really went back even though I wanted to. I should just start playing Pokemon games on here on the channel. Just replay through freaking... What's that one that came out that everybody hated? Because I'm one of those people like... Unless it's Borderlands or Halo, I usually like don't stick to franchises. Like, I'll buy a game if I can get the game, blah blah blah, and it usually takes me years to accumulate a franchise, and I always do it out of order. But there was I previously, until Legends and the one that came out before that. Oh God, what was the name of it? Ah, see, I can't remember. I don't think it's that because it was a forgettable game. I just legitimately, like, my mind is blanking on what it was called. It was after Sun and Moon. Oh my God. Whatever's the only one that really came out on the Switch. Let's see, I guess that doesn't make sense either. Because there was those remakes, those Let's Go Pikachu and blah blah blah. I think it came out after those. Oh, I'm going to hate myself. Once I remember, I'm going to be like, oh, that was it. And I don't want to Google it because I don't want to mess anything up right now during this recording session. And it, like, not that anything would mess up, but I'm just being very cautious. But everyone hated it. Everyone's like, oh, this is the lowest point, like, in Pokemon history until Legends came out. And before that Pokemon game, the one that I'm blanking on the name of, that came out before Legends, before that one came out, I had not played a Pokemon game since Emerald. So I took a nice 15-year gap between Pokemon games. So, from my view, Pokemon only got better. Because I know the joke is like, oh, all the millennials say, because we're the next in line for the boomers or whatever. All the millennials are like, any Pokemon past red and yellow and blue. Yeah, I mentioned yellow in there. It's how old school I am. Any Pokemon past the original 151 aren't good. There's exceptions. Because when you take a break from Pokemon Emerald and then starve yourself and don't really much look at any Pokemon media for 15 years, and then you play the current Pokemon, you go, this is pretty good. It's like Pokemon, but there's a lot more of it. and it's not top down in 2D. I was like, this is pretty good. So I liked it as someone who's not hardcore into Pokemon, because I'm not one of those fans who I can't understand. It's like that zombie analogy I came with the other day on the video. There's the people that are like such big fans that like they're such big fans that you never hear them talk good about the things they're a fan of. It's always something bad. And it's always the same argument, like, well, it's not true to what it is. If I was in charge of it, it would blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, then why do you like it? Why do you keep saying you're a fan? I never wrap my head around that. Stop saying you're a fan of something if you constantly bitch about the thing you're a fan of. If you're constantly bitching about the thing you're a fan of, you're not a fan of it. Well, I just love this blank insert random fandom thing here so much that it shows you that I care that I bitch about it. I hate that excuse. That is the worst excuse. Being a fan of something is a mix of things. No, don't go blindly accepting everything that's handed to you and go, wow, it's okay to have criticisms of something. But when no one ever hears you say anything good about it and it's always something negative, no, you're not a fucking fan of it. Say something good. There's not everything that comes out that's new is immediately bad, and not everything in it is all bad. There's bad things and there's good things. That's kind of usually what it is with everything. Almost everything. And normally, I don't have all the watch hours and subscribers on this channel to be like, oh, if I say this is going to get me demonetized. So normally I say things. But there's certain things that I'm like, is this video even going to be listed if I talk about these things? Because when I say there's redeemable factors about nearly everything, there's some things that don't have redeemable factors that I don't think I can talk about on the internet without, or at least on YouTube, without them being like, no, you will never be seen again. Ah. I'm going on a tangent. Is this Dragon Lord? Yeah. Oh, of course he dodged it immediately. But I'm just like, that's a pet peeve of mine. I hate like the quote unquote hardcore fans. I'm a hardcore fan of things, and I'm not like that. And I can't wrap my head around people who are like that. Like, if you're like that, then I'm like, there's something deeply rooted wrong with you. And I think, while I wasn't relating my analogies to things earlier, I can relate my analogy to things now, that I've met people who I no longer talk to who are that exact same way. And I won't get into all that, even though I want to, and I want to open my mouth, but I won't, or I'll try not to the best I can. But it's just a pet peeve of mine. It annoys the ever-living fuck out of me. Because I'm like, shut up your stupid face, you're wrong. Like, quit, you're just like using the excuse, oh, I'm just a fan because you want to be a fucking asshole. And if anybody agrees with you, they're wrong. They're not as hardcore a fan as you. We gotta take that as Dragon Lord. Oh, he's getting close though, and then after we get through this, we got a whole nother freaking phase of Dragon Lord to do. Ooh, shush, Dragon Lord. We doing phase 2 now? I wasn't paying attention. Did he do the whole, like, I'm wrapped in skeleton hands, so this is my final phase thing? Probably did. God, there's so much going on. That was one of the complaints about this game when it came out. It was like, I was watching reviews, and there was quite a few contradicting reviews about this game. It was like the day or two before it came out, before I could play it. People were like, oh yeah, there's so much stuff happening on your screen at once that it's like impossible to pay attention. And I'm like, I could partly understand that, but just my opinion though, not a fact. I don't mind it. I'm just like, holy crap, this is wild. But I can see it is a legitimate complaint. I can see that people are like, yeah, this is too much. Like, that's fair. It's just, I'm just like, wow, look at all this chaos I'm legitimately causing. That's not like a story segment that the, you know, it's not like some cinematic scene where it's meant to be chaotic and that's their story driving plot point. It's like, oh, it's legitimately like, this is you using all these abilities and combined with all the enemies coming at you, that this is a legitimate, like, holy crap, look what everything that I'm doing. Instead of it being like, instead of this game being like, well, it's part of the story that you're seeing all this mayhem and chaos. I like the idea that it's just like, oh, there's so much going on the screen, and it's my doing. My presence being here is like causing all this. That's why I like it. Not everybody has to, but that's just why I like it. I am invincible. No, you're not. Shush. Shush, Dragon Lord. Daddy Dragon. There we go. We're getting there. Oh. Of course you teleport. You would teleport, you big bitch. Ah, we could do it. We could do it. We could do it. Oh, jeez. Is Fun Guy still alive? Fun Guy's not alive. Uh-oh, that's not good. That means I gotta not get caught in nonsense because I don't have a little buddy to revive me right now. Oh wait, Fun Guy is alive. The game's just broken. I was like, oh no. But now I'm like, oh yeah. But that doesn't explain where he was or was not at during my time of need, Fun Guy. Where were you? And he's dead. I didn't expect them to kill him in that reload right there, but we did. Beautiful. Just beautiful. And boom, boom. Awesome. Holy crap. We're already an hour into this recording session. And we're at Chaos 15. How long was that one? 20 minutes, 38 seconds. I got a burp. I'll try and do it off camera. Let's spend our skill points. Yeah. Do that one because next roundabout will max him out.